Okay, here we are on the Robodrome. All right, here we go. So the start of the key is really fun because you get to roar as a druid and fly all the way down this way. So these bots are interesting because you can actually hit them with this hammer. And this hammer, how you activate it is by standing right underneath it. I think, right? Maybe. Yeah, so it activates, it winds up, and this does damage, and it scales on key level. So on a higher key level, you can actually one-shot all this shit. Do they all run to me? If I pull here, so they're all gonna run. Zapbot's gonna be doing its thing. I'm gonna move them through here. They're gonna get smashed, they're gonna get stunned, they're all gonna take 20% of their health. In higher keys, you can actually one-shot this. Oh, and kick the detonate. This thing, that's a one-shot, dude, on high fort weak. So in this room, you have these hammers that are doing damage. You have these saw blades that are spinning around. We want to kick detonate. Rocket barrage, you stun. Yeah, this bull could be really scary if you don't have everything locked. Oh shit, boss is spawning. Okay. This boss fight was really unique because this guy you fucking tank, and this guy does whatever he wants, and you don't have to worry about. Threat does not matter on him. Okay, wait, it kind of does. So threat on this guy, whoever has threat is who he typically charges. So the tank wants to keep threat if you want to be in charge. And then this guy has 3 stacks of this platinum plating, which makes him take 99% reduced damage. So on pull, I don't want to blow these guys up yet, so I'm just going to do this like normal. So I'm going to tag this stuff. This guy does maximum thrust. He's going to charge all the way over there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drag this man. This is like a pacing fight, right? So you want to break this guy's armor off by hitting him with this hammer. Boom, he loses a stack, he's stunned. This dude is doing whatever he fucking wants. And now this hammer, you can see it's sparking, is broken, right? So now this guy's doing vent jets, you want to move away. Typically your DPS, your DPS can stand away, and the thing that it's fixating on has eyes, you want to just move it away in one direction. I don't want to break this yet. So what I'll do now is I'll stand underneath this hammer. This guy should charge me in a second. Oh no. Damn it, I fucked up. Okay, we'll do this. So this maximum thrust goes at the target. It's going to be baited at this hammer almost. And then you want to get it underneath. I'm not doing this well. I haven't done this in a hot second. So you want to line up this man with a hammer that's not broken already. And now this guy's only taking 33% reduced damage because I was able to knock his stacks off. So it's a really odd pacing fight. Most of your DPS want to be targeting No Mercy for you. So we're going to run over here. So this is what I'm going to try to do. I want to bait him towards this hammer so I can show you guys. It wasn't tough. It was just like a little frustrating if you weren't doing things right or if DPS were ripping threat. So boom, maximum thrust, charges that hammer. You move underneath the hammer here. And then it should actually do damage technically to both of these guys. So it did a little bit of damage. Now on higher keys, you can take off like 10 to 20% of this boss's health. In lower keys like this and an M0, it doesn't matter. But now they're both taking full damage, and then you just want to move away from these the vents. You just want to run away with this pummeler guy. This boss is really fun, actually. There's a lot of stuff for melee to do, right? Like, don't step on these bombs, don't get hit by blades, don't get hit by bammer, dodge flame jets, don't get hit by the pummelers like fucking Zug Zug. Oh, and maximum thrust knocks you if you get hit by it. So we're gonna just kill these guys off here. Now, you could try to run against this. Typically won't be successful. Maybe I will be successful. Catform OP. There's no reason to run against this because now, like, if this was a timer, right? Like, I'm just wasting time. So just go in the hole. All right, down the hole we go. We get all lubed up for our date night. Yeah, it's a lot. Stop wasting time. Yeah. And then the loot's down here. Yeet. Oh, yo, Kex, we got the bracers, dude. We got the bracers. All right, so this is where the dungeon gets really obnoxious because you have to make it all the way through here. Again, I'm not gonna have Zapbot through here, right? So this unit, really annoying, doesn't have Spectral Sight though. So you might actually end up skipping this in a actual key. Now, something that I think a lot of people didn't know and or would forget about is that these slimes, they blow up when they die, but they can be LOS, and there's a few different LOS spots that I'll point out in a second. So ideally what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure you get all the way down to, I don't know, you might not want to come all the way down here, but like this dog is a little annoying, but you want to actually tank the slimes here, because what you can do is if I stand here, I'm going to take damage from this this waste explosion, right? But your group can actually LOS right here. I can't put down a marker. Right before the slimes explode. Like, you kill them, they're doing their little channel, and then you line of sight, and then you don't take any damage. If not, they'll pretty much kill your group if you kill them all at the same time. Now, if you're pulling these other slimes, which can be kind of scary, you could take them on either side of this pillar. If you're a DK, you can definitely like perma-stack these guys just with Gorfy's Grasp, but you would line of sight right around here. Obviously, with like me being super geared, I killed them really quickly. But if you stack them on either side of this pillar, you can line of sight around here and then not take any damage. The only thing you have to be careful of is this dog doing just stupid damage. Oh, K.U J.O, the big old metallic dog. This boss was nuts. Really fun, but there was a way that you can actually just make your group wipe if you fucked up. So what happens on this fight is this dog is pretty easy. What happens is a crate will drop. What some groups would do is they would actually pull him away a little bit from the center because crates typically drop towards the center of the room. And then he's going to do these venting flames. So you have like, what, 6 or 7 seconds to get behind here to LOS. On Quaking Weeks, you want to make sure you're spread out. As soon as a box gets hit by this venting flame, the next time it gets hit by venting flame, it's going to blow up. So you want to stay away from this box if possible. So we'll pull him away a little bit. Another box is going to fall right on top of us. We'll pull him here. Now there was a way to cheese like the way he would actually do it. Oh, and then this explosive leap, you want to move away from all boxes. Because if he leaps on you, it blows up the box. Therefore, you won't have a way to LOS and you wipe. So same thing here. He's going to do venting flames. Now this old crate's going to blow up and we're going to want to make sure we're line of sighting between the boss and us. So see, the box blew up. This box is now on fire. Quaking was cancer on this side. It was a little nuts, but honestly, like you could back up in a straight line and it would be totally fine. Another box drops right on top of us. And then we're going to just try to position where... Oh, explosive. I don't know if this is actually going to go off. No, it's just not. But explosive leap jumps on everyone in your party. Your party doesn't want to be near the old box or the new box. Because if it hits the new box, I think it like becomes red like this and then it'll blow up on venting flames. So then you LOS. Now there was a way... I'll try to replicate it here, but there was a way to tank this guy on the corner of a box, and then you were still able to LOS but still do damage to him, because like the corner of the boxes LOS, but they don't prevent attacks from not going off. Oh, and then Blazing Chomp needs to be dispelled. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll move away with the explosive leap, and then we'll tank him like, it's like tanking him like on the edge like this, right? Oh, I am actually taking damage from this Blazing Chomp. And then you would like LOS here and you're like still able to hit him, but you're able to LOS. I don't know. Here, I can't actually do it. Oh, I'm gonna die. I gotta pop Incarn. So yeah, this fight's like a very simple rotation, right? I don't remember if I think you would have, no, you wouldn't have lust for this boss if you lusted first. Big box coming down. So it's just the same pattern. Now, if you're a rogue or a hunter, you can actually feign death, similar to Insanguine Depths on General Call. You can actually feign or vanish like mid-leap, and it would actually prevent it from leaping to your whoever was after. So there's actually a really good way there to prevent a lot of damage. Now, moment of truth. Can we door up here? No path available. Okay. So locks used to be able to come right here. Oh, by the way, little secret technique. Run on the railings here. So if you see here, that's gonna push me, but if I stand on the railing, it doesn't. So if you're running against this, you're going slower than if you're standing on the line. Now, of course, you don't want to risk falling. Standing here and oh, sick. Look at this. Ventier players. Oh, easy, dude. Fuck that. Fuck that. And then you want to hit this button to make sure you turn off the flame jets, right? Flame jets are now off. This thing will never stop, though. So what I used to do back in the day is I would get up here as a druid and then my rogues would shadow step to me. So if you have any class that can like port like that, using this might be really good. PSA for the explosive jump. It always aims first for the furthest guy and you can shadow meld, cheat, death, vanish, etc. Yes. So that's what I was saying with like the vanish, or not the vanish, well, vanish / feign. It is the furthest guy though. I never knew that when I was pushing. I didn't see the changing percent of this engine. I don't know if they're changing percent or not. They might. I couldn't tell you. And if that's going to happen, it'll probably happen week 2. They'll probably use the first week as kind of like a test. And then they're going to do a tuning pass more than likely. Because it might be overtuned, it might be undertuned, they might figure out trash. I don't know what they're going to do this dungeon. It'll be interesting though, and I'll definitely like keep tabs on it and I'll keep updated. Like keep you guys updated. This gauntlet is triggered by stepping just past this line. It's this like warning, excessive levels of flesh detected. So when you finish that little gauntlet, you want to make sure whoever's your first one up here needs to trigger this RP because you have to wait for this these bots to spawn. These tinkerers, priest players can mind control them and get giga dam. Priests are going to carry this area. You're going to keep one of these MC'd. Is it the Tinkerers? Yeah, I think it's the Tinkerers. You kick Gigawalp, they spawn these squirrels, but these squirrels are spawnable if you MC them. You can MC them and spawn friendly ones that do damage to enemies. And on fortified weeks, it'll pretty much like just clear this room for you for free. It's hard to tell which ones are friendly and which ones aren't because it doesn't change the animation on the floor. So your priest needs to be vocal like, hey, that one's friendly. Don't stand in it. As a tank player, you can always kind of just like, just step out just so things are always getting hit by it just in case. You have to do, I think there's three things in here. So you do this and then there's going to be 2 tank buster bots. This is a scary pull. So these Mark 1s and Mark 3s are real scary for the tank. I'm gonna actually use Incarn here. But they just do a tank buster. Activating Zap is I think it applies a debuff, right? And you just want to dispel it. I think it's Sparkflux. Oh, I shouldn't kill this guy this fast. But this guy, there's a strategy where you pull him off to the side. Oh, I killed him way too fast. I'm sorry. He does like a giant 30-yard fucking AoE. And if you pull him off to this corner, your group can stand up here, range, and they'll never have to dodge. So that they can have like max uptime. So utilize this corner. You can utilize this like little alcove. If you stand here, it's weird with the ledge, like the ramp here. So just be careful. Get those spare parts, baby. So those were the 3 pulls. And then here's the shit show. This gauntlet. So we used to have Awaken to get through here. You cannot get hit by these bots. They have set patrol patterns. This guy, I think, just goes to either side. So he'll pad up to this corner. So there's always a way around this first one. You can go around on the edge like this. And then there's a pattern here. Like some of these they stay still and some of them move. So you kind of have to weave in and out. And if you're standing in the smoke, you don't trigger it. See, I'm standing inside the circle right now, but they don't see me. So what you would do is you would run up through here and then you would stand right here in this smoke. You wait for this bot to pass you. And then as soon as you're in the clear, you step out and move up this way. So that's how you do this gauntlet. Now, if you get hit by this bot, like I'll just move in right here. It stuns you for 6 seconds, by the way. And then it ports you back to the start and then it stuns you again. I don't know if this is normal, but you now have to do the gauntlet all over again. And you had 12 seconds of literally being AFK. So we're going to try to get through there. We're fine. We're waiting for this pattern to change just a little bit. This bot needs to now move back up that way. We'll roar here. You can actually kind of go kind of quick here if you wanted to. Oh, I towed in there. I was trying to get into this alcove. Ported back, stunned again because this game sucks. I think this is a bug. I think it's like the stun is fading, and then because I'm still technically in the bot, it's stunning me again. But this is what I mean. Like if you want to be more patient, right? Because if you try to speed like I just did there, you're gonna end up wasting more time. Now, benefit of this is I could just Door of Shadows like this. Ooh, look at that. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna go. So Door of Shadows is huge. You cannot Lockgate through. Lockgate will stun you and I think force you back. So I think Night Fae Blink, obviously Mage Blink, you could like, if I doors through, then a Rogue Shadow stepped to me, that would work just fine. But this area is going to be a huge pain for pugs. I also personally, this might be a strategy that I will implement in my groups if I run with a Rogue or use Invis Pots. I think stealthing past this pole here is going to be your best bet. Because if you wipe on this pole, you're going to be back at like the start, like before the gauntlet. But if you kill Sparkflux here, the boss, this is your reset point. This is your respawn point. So then you can actually clear this trash without it being too deadly. So this trash is nuts because you have a Tinkerer, which does obviously the squirrel, which is really annoying. This shield is really big. I just instant killed it though. Yikes. If that shield is active, pull the mobs out of it, stand inside of it. You have a huge DR. Tune up is a heal. You want to make sure you interrupt that. You have the squirrel go down. You can technically kill it, but it's definitely not worth. But you have a second tune up. So tune ups are kick priority. Giga Wallop is like, it does a good bit of nature damage to your tank. But for the most part, you want to pull outside of this. But if you step back inside of it, you can see that I have now the 75% damage reduction, which means that you'll take less damage from squirrels. You'll take less damage from quaking. Just all around a good thing to try to prioritize leaving these generators up. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, it'll bug out and it'll keep you in combat if the pull ends. And these last for 30 seconds or something like that. 20 seconds. And they are spawned by the defenders. So you want to keep the defender up while killing everything else. These defense bots are big tank busters. So you just want to make sure you're rolling your defenses when they start applying some of their applications. And this guy will go down here and the generator's still up. So I'm still in combat if you see that. So I'll have to kill this or it'll fade. And holy fuck, this dude is nuts. This is probably my least favorite boss in Mechagon. It's an awkward shaped room. The borders of like the wall are really odd. Now there is a way to like tank him on the edge to like try to ignore some mechanics, but you end up having to run out anyways to like kill some of the the grenade, not the grenades, the turrets that spawn. So upon pulling him, you typically want to kind of keep him on this outer ring because it makes it a little bit easier to move and to dodge. Now there is a strat where you stand inside this alcove, but again, these plants spawn and you have to run over to the plant and kill it because it will just do group damage to you. And then he does this hidden flame cannon, which pops out of the wall here, and it'll rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise. So then you want to stay in between. And this will do, like, I think it just does fire damage, so it's magical. So yeah, you can cloak through it, you can immune through it. And then you want to, like, pull this guy to a corner. And the reason you want to pull him to, like, a corner is because these blades ricochet off the wall. And standing, like, towards the center, or, like, I don't know. It's a really pain to dodge because he keeps spawning them throughout the fight. So this is a fight that gets harder as you go through it. Obviously, watch your feet. This will kill you on high Tyrannicals especially. You see this blade coming through. You just want to make sure you're sidestepping it. We see that the plant spawns. This can be stunned as well. So we want to run right over. I just ran through a blade, but I don't care. So it's war stomped right now. So you want to make sure you get like a Hodge, a kidney, I don't know, a Nova, a leg sweep, something on it to prevent it from doing some damage before you kill it. These beams spawn and you are cycling around the room the opposite direction. I don't think it alternates. I think it's RNG, but it might alternate. But yeah, once all of that's gone. Oh, also, depending on where you kill the turret at, it starts spawning fire motes, because as you can see, this first turret that I killed, it's like shooting out this grease, right? And then when fire hits it, it ignites, and then it starts spawning these pools. So now this area of the room is like unusable. So we're gonna try to stay away from that as best we can. So turret spawned here. We're gonna make sure that we're swapping to it immediately, and we're gonna kill it. And then the hidden flame cannon. Let's see if so we'll come out here. Flame cannon spawns. And as you can see, as this line went through this thing, it now is making it ignite. Now, it's weird that this one bugged out and it's not actually activating. But this one should also be spawning fire pools over here. So if you could imagine that, right? Like this area is unusable, this area is going to be unusable, this area is unusable. This is all we really have to work with. Everywhere else in the room is very, very like deadly. So this is kind of a fight where you want Lust 4, you want big CDs, you want to really make sure you're moving Sparkflux over to the turret to make sure you're optimizing cleave. You want to prioritize damage onto him and cleave off onto the turrets. Taking him on the edge just typically is a little bit easier than taking him at the center of the room. So he'll go down here. There is a turret up, but sometimes you can ignore it if there's like enough time left. And we just got our best staff in the game, dude. We got the neural synapse enhancer. So this door is now open. So you can actually, for some reason, I think maybe the spawn's here. I don't remember. These tanks are real scary. They're good percent though, like, or at least they were back in the day. You would typically pull them on top of each other, but they have like a weird frontal mechanic. So you can run with this guy up the hill if you have it in your route. If not, you would probably invis past it. I don't think they have spectral sight, but back in the day, you would awaken skip up. Now there's that sonic pulse. It's just a giant frontal that aims at a random player. Obviously I'm the only player, so it's always going to aim at me. If you're good about stacking, let's just say everyone stacks on the tank, you'll always know what direction it's facing. So if everyone's on top of me, we just sidestep to the left. We're chilling. They kind of do this weird patrol thing, but I found this is more common on Guardian Druids. So sonic pulse goes out again, you just sidestep. And then it'll probably be followed by some, probably grenade here in a second. Sonic Pulse, sidestep to the left. This guy goes down, and then it's easy peasy. Now you have to kill the one at the top of the hill first. So we killed the one at the top of the hill first because that's the one I was prioritizing. This bot will spawn. If I killed this one first, I'd still have to kill this other one and then wait. But now we can go right away. We click on this, and we're heading up to the upper portion of Mechagon. And this is probably the scariest trash in here. I know I've said that about a few pulls in here, but man, people love Mechagon. But this part of it was all skippable with Awakened. You would front load trash at the start. You would get all the way to like 100%. You'd have like 97% trash here. You would maybe do this pull. Now, of course, in MDI, it was different. But you had Awakened Pillar. So you would do the Awakened Pillar and you would just run all the way up. Yo, what's up? Thanks for the follow, man. Hopefully you've been enjoying the stream. And me nerd ranting in an M0 in Mechagon. Because I'm just hyped. So similar stuff to before, you see the defenders and you see the Tinker. Tinker is going to be priority. You want to try to leave defenders up, and you want to keep defenders up for these mech bots or the defense bots, because the defense bots are what do unavoidable AoE damage. If you're going to pull a defense bot, they aren't CCable. You have to distract them if you're going to prevent them from moving. You want to prioritize the mech bot while also cleaving on the Tinkerer, and then leave the defenders up, because the defenders will drop these. You need to move the mobs out, which means you need to make sure you're getting kick on the Tinkerer, and then again, you can step inside. You're going to see this short out ability. Short out, you move inside. Don't worry about the squirrel. You're taking 75% reduced damage inside of the shield. This is why this pull is annoying though, is because this Tinker is really difficult to move. Do not kill these generators. like ever. You have to move them out, and then it typically will line up with the short out. So you can step in for the squirrel. Be careful of this defense spot. If you pull it again, you might have an issue if the defenders are about to die. The defenders are so scary, man. And easy peasy. Now the last pull of this place though was an absolute shit. Oh, also they have spectral sight too. So that's what I forgot to mention. These dudes have spectral sight, so you can't even just like rogue skip past them. No Giga Brain shit here. No. So spectral sight has a lot of weird interactions with different stealth versions and like Shadow Meld and stuff, and like there's different variations. I've gone over it before. I'll maybe talk about it in a future video. You can see that he just attacked me. I was sitting in stealth. Got back from AFK and just missed out the MC trash. Need a refresher on that. So I'm gonna probably turn both of these into a YouTube video and I'll post them. The Tinkerers though are all you need to worry about. This top pull, yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get to. Also, having a defense spot like this without a defender is really scary because that short out does a ton of it. I think it does nature damage. Let me double check that though. Is this it? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's nature. Yeah, it's nature. So it's not even physical. Like armor doesn't help. Again, like DKs though, like you're going to have AM said, fuck off, man. Dude, fuck the meta. Fuck the meta. It's going to be DK priest. Like I know I made a tier list talking about like how Brewmaster is going to be good, but with now going over some of these like different mechanics in Mechagon, like there's no way. All right. So this top pull, you have 2 defense bots. You have 1 Tinkerer, 2 mechanics, and a defender. So this pull is scary because the Tinkerer does nature damage. You have double AoE coming from the mech bots. You have 2 mechanics which both heal the robots, and then you have the defender. The defender you want to leave up. Do not hit the defender at all. MC, so priest MC the Tinkerer to get big squirrel damage on. So when we go in, we're probably going to prioritize this Tinkerer. We're going to set focus to it, make sure we're getting the kick on Giga Vault thing. Move out of this. Oh, no, I can't kick that. Fuck. Squirrel, move into the shield. Short outs are happening. Tune-up is also happening. We can use a disorienting roar or incap roar to prevent that. And then there's overclock. So overclock needs to be purged because it's 100% haste, and that comes from the mechanic. So like this pull is mega nuts. This might be a pull where you commit lust to even I could even see this on tyrannical weeks, man, because Mechagon is just like purely fruition. Like you don't need damage from King Mechagon. You just need to be able to survive all the mechanics. So tune-ups need to be interrupted. Again, the defender is still alive. We want to make sure we're on these bots though, because the defender is what drops the generator. We're maybe going to wait for one more generator to drop. Now it's okay if the defender dies. You want to make sure you're spell stealing or purging those debuffs, and then moving back in to prevent short out damage. Now, of course, if there's only 1 short out or defense spot up, you might be okay. But again, it totally depends on what level of keys you're doing. In a 15, probably not going to be that bad. Or at least later in the season. But if you're doing like upper end pushing, this is going to be a very, very scary pull. I can even see some top groups doing death skips here, where like a DK player might pull, like the tank might pull them off to the side. Everyone will run up here, maybe do a night elf skip, and then just res the death knight or whatever. There might be a strat where you literally sprint and then night elf off. But again, because they have spectral sight, it's a little bit harder to pull those kind of those tactical maneuvers off. It's hard to execute, right? All right, King Mechy-G. This is technically a 3-phase fight, if you count the last phase being a mechanic or part of the fight. So upon pulling this guy, 4 balls are going to spawn, I think, from these things, if I'm not mistaken. And randomly throughout the fight, don't roll off. Fuck off, dude. I've rolled off this fight so many times. So these balls will then project to their location. Also, this beam will cleave anyone it hits through, so you want to move away from that player. A general rule of thumb is maybe stand still if you're ranged. Melee can maybe reposition themselves. Move from the ball. They typically will target a player. Obviously, since I'm the only person in here, they're going to constantly keep stacking up like this. They do a little bit of damage. They knock you back, but it's more annoying than anything. Gigazep, again, aim away from your group. It does a good bit of damage. It makes you take more damage, and you just keep running over. Yo, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. And then he'll go up into the air like this. You just want to move away. He's going to fixate on a player. This also does a little bit of AoE damage, so the healer needs to be ready for the cutting beam. This pulse blast is a good bit of damage to the tank, but again, Gigazap, aim towards the outside of the room or away from other players, and then you just take off. So just don't be inside of this. That'll hurt you, and then run away. Does the lock gate work? I'm just so used to skipping it with Awakened that it never occurred to me. Also, locks were sus. Like, who ran a lock in BFA? I mean, I did, because I play with degens, but we always just used Awakened. All right, so again, dodge this. Oh, you know what? Awakened mobs used to actually give %, so maybe that's why you need it. So hopefully they do some tuning, but we'll see. So yeah, if that's the case, you literally have to pull everything. Yeah, so Awakened mobs used to give like 1.5% per. So if you did all of your Awakened mobs, right, you had the extra whatever, 6%. So you have to get this guy all the way to 0. You would never, this is similar to Soleil in Soleil's Gambit. You don't lust first phase, because phase 2 is scary. Phase 2 has a lot of like I don't know, very engaging mechanics. We'll put it like that, right? So cutting beam. Wasn't there like a good time to phase? I don't remember. I think you just, what a fucking punk, dude. King Mech. Look at this little asshole, dude. Gnomes are such bitches. Fuck this guy, dude. All right, so we're stunned. He jumped in his giant ship or whatever, his giant robot. Now, his hit radius is pretty forgiving. You obviously want to dodge these. These are going to come in from behind. You can kind of stand on all sides. Now, what a lot of groups would do is you would kind of have set areas to stand because you don't want to go strafing with this Giga Zap. You want to stay still so no one else is in your line. It's going to do more increased damage every time it hits you. So you only want to get hit once. Obviously, I'm the only player in here, so it's going to target me 3 times. You get this debuff called Giga Zap, which makes you take more damage from Giga Zap stacking. So you want to kind of just keep shifting around him. And then eventually he's going to do this Magneto Arm, which he throws out, and then it sucks you in. So you want to run against it. It's also going to suck these things in too. So you want to be careful. And this is also like where you would lust. You would lust as soon as you come out into phase, but melee DPS want to kind of stand on the side if they can to bait this so it's in the wall. Ranged players can kind of then stand in the middle, and then maybe the tank can be on the other side. Just don't strafe. Do not strafe. If you have this on you, try to stand still unless you're dodging orbs. You can get pretty far into here without falling off, but again, because if these orbs come in at the wrong time, I'm going to get knocked off the edge, which may or may not have happened before in push keys. So again, like only if you're dodging should you ever strafe. In pre-mades, this is much easier. Next phase is where we get to see the yeah. And again, like it's very routine, right? So just dodge orbs, don't strafe with beam, Magneto Arm goes out, run again. This is also a lot of nature damage. So this is where the healer needs to be ready for, like Aura Mastery, have like Hots Up rolling with a flourish. Make sure you have like your Cloudburst ramped for shit. Like healer needs to be ready for that Magneto Arm. Dodge the beam. If you could bait it into the wall here, that's really good because it doesn't go into the area at all. Like you can see kind of like the room's clear, right? Easy peasy. Oh shit. Fuck. So yeah, that's the whole dungeon. So yeah, if the route's saying it's 97%, I mean, that's because there's no more Awakened anymore. So yeah, you might have to pull the whole dungeon. That's a fucking shit show. I think it'd be better to back pull though, because then you could just target the mobs you need for percent and then be done with it. All right, so this is I'm almost out of phase 2 here. We'll pop Barkskin just to get a little bit of that Incarn damage, that cosmic damage pulsing out, and then we will go into the last phase, which is arguably the hardest phase. So he flies out of the ship and then he one-shots your entire group. Get wrecked, nerd. All right, and that's it. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was Mechagon broken down. The scariest pull in here, and I'm hoping we see, okay, I hope we see percent tuning, because doing that pull fucking would blow. But also if they don't, like they need to just tune some of the abilities, because I think like short out without it, like, dude, Pugs fucking just wreck whatever they want. Like that defense, the defense dude, the defense guy, he's gonna die so fast. And then when he's dead, you're fucked. I remember doing keys early when Mechagon like first came out, and I was like starting to get to like the 15s and stuff, like I mean like week 1, week 2, when like KSM was hard to get. I was like starting to do 15s. Defense bots died left and right, and then you would just add a short out, double short out especially. So I hope they do some percent tuning in here, but it's also very difficult with how many things have spectral sight in here. So we'll see. More than likely, if you can death skip, you would just death skip past here. You would get a lockgate skip or something. Can you Door of Shadows skip? Oh. You can Door of Shadows. I should have tried that. So yeah, you might be able to actually just do this. Ooga booga. Wait, that's huge, guys. All right, so everyone play Venthyr meta. Everyone plays Venthyr next season.